Market Wizards is a timeless piece and one of the few mandatory reads for every trader out there, regardless of their skill levels. In this review, we'll discuss exactly why this book is considered to be one of the greats within the field of trading literature. After a good deal of preparations, we are now kicking it off with the trading book review series on this very channel. If you haven't already, I propose you watch this short episode in which we introduce the structure of these review episodes, what they will contain, what they will look at, and why. Let's now start off with this classic in order to set the bar high, and if this book is something that might appeal to you, you can get it via the affiliate link in the description. Let's now take a good look at Market Wizards and what's really between those mystical pages. Market Wizards is a time-tested piece from 2006 that has become one of the most famous books around the trading block. Basically, it's an interview compilation just short of 500 pages in which the author, Schwager, sits down with some of the most successful traders in the world for some carefully prepared one-on-one chats. Throughout the book, each trader, who all come from different walks of life and who approach the market with different styles, makes anecdotes with hard-learned and often expensive lessons and epiphanies. And not only that, each trader also explains the psychology behind their decisions, what exactly went through their heads and how it equipped them to handle the future in a better way. The wide variety of traders and their respective approaches makes those 500 pages fly by rather smoothly, and you never get the feeling that I've read this before in an earlier chapter. Given that you get the most profound insights from different fields, as in ranging from technical to fundamental traders who also have individual areas of specialization, this book is packed to the brim with priceless wisdom, as one would expect from picking the brains of world-class performers. What I particularly appreciate is how they openly discuss highs and lows alike. Any reader, regardless of their level of trading experience, will be able to identify with the mistakes and self-doubt that naturally follow upon making rush trades, being subject to FOMO, or by simply ignoring one's own trading rules and stop losses. It makes you realize that these top-level traders were not born into their vocations. They had to work hard as everybody else, and they too were notoriously plagued by the same haunting psychology as the rest of us. I read this book as a complete novice myself and had no issues whatsoever to understand pretty much everything. It is rather obvious that Market Wizards is carefully structured to cater to a wide audience. Content-wise, this book is an easy read. It doesn't require any previous experience within trading. The only thing you'd naturally benefit from is to having a good interest in trading and beating the market. This book is a great way to learn from the best. Not only do they tell of their own personal experiences throughout their trading careers, but more so about the pitfalls along the ways. These on their own all make up for valuable lessons, as many of the things they themselves did and paid greatly for are trading crimes that most traders unknowingly commit themselves. What I particularly like about this book is how it appeals to all levels, whether you're a complete novice, an intermediate, or an already seasoned pro. This book is full of nuggets and a mandatory piece to anybody who's looking at excelling their trading. For as much as it may not go much into technicals per se, this book rather covers the bigger and most important picture, the zoomed out one. This part is easy to overlook, and it's not uncommon for eager novices to throw themselves headfirst into overly complicated technicals without taking a good look first at the very trading arena. Equally so, it's one of those few books that you can and will benefit greatly from reading multiple times, as in throughout different stages of your trading development. And the reason for this is because the wisdom in Market Wizards is deep. Layered, if you will. Hence, certain things that you didn't necessarily have the knowledge to comprehend as a beginner or as an intermediate will surface and open up clear as day once you have added some flesh to your bones. With that said, I'd go as far as to say that in order to get the fullest value out of this book, every trader should read it 3 times. Firstly as a beginning trader, secondly as an intermediate, and thirdly and lastly as a seasoned one. I guarantee you it will be 3 different reading experiences. The language is straightforward, as often is the case when it comes to American non-fiction literature. And to be perfectly clear, this statement certainly comes with no valuation behind it. In several instances, I personally prefer this type of easy reads, as you can gear up quickly and plow through vast quantities without unnecessary literary hiccups and bumps in the road. On the contrary, however, you sometimes need a precise lingo in order to explore deep concepts. Luckily in Market Wizards though, there's no need for that type of difficult language, as the book is literally transcribed from one-on-one interviews. And on top of that, a fair part of the book's structure is rather airy, so you don't feel intimidated by each new page, as is often the case in certain books. Equally so, most questions and answers are rather short and to the point. With that said, the book is written with exactly the type of language that is called for. The time commitment in Market Wizards for an average pace reader lies between 20 to 25 hours in total. And however you decide to divide that time, it will be time well spent, for this book is and will remain a must-read classic. The plus side should be rather obvious by now, yet there are a couple of things that hold me back from ascribing it a higher grade. First of all, although the book performs at an overall very high level, there are certain sections that pale in comparison. These parts drag down your excitement and automatically slow down your pace. For this is the type of book that keeps you enchanted throughout much of it, and perhaps I'm a bit spoiled from those generous highs, yet I don't see the need for the dull parts. For this is the type of dessert that should consist solely of cherries on the top. And so it could, if only it got rid of the whipped cream and fluff that add little to no value and rather act as brakes. And secondly, I wouldn't mind if it were to be a tad more entertaining. This might be a bit too much to ask for, yet I cannot help but to feel that the seriousness level is a bit too notoriously high. I'm certainly not talking about turning it into a clown show, I'm talking about balancing it out a bit with some lighter feel-good pieces to slightly soften the experience. With that said, the grade I give it is a solid 8.2 and a well-deserved one at that. And to those of you who want to buy this remarkable book, you can get it via the affiliate link below. That was all for now, thank you and goodbye.